Hi everybody, this is Coach McCurry from Baseball by the Yard. Thanks for stopping by. Today's tip is for base runners. Now the base runner can be at first base, second base, or third base, and it involves how not to get picked off after the pitch. So I'm talking about a catcher who after the pitch makes a snap throw to either third, second, or first to get the runner that has ventured too far off the base. So I'm going to show you the 3 things that all runners have to do on their secondary lead to make sure they do not ever get picked off on a snap throw. Because as a coach, I think getting picked off on a snap throw is one of the cardinal sins of baseball, particularly if you weren't stealing, you're not going anywhere, there's no reason to get picked off on a snap throw. But all base runners have to do these 3 things. The first one is the timing of their secondary lead and when they stop. So the first tip is make sure that on your secondary lead, the base runner lands with his right foot at the same time the ball is crossing the hitting zone and being caught by the catcher. So the timing has to be the same and stop their momentum. One of the things that gets base runners in trouble is if they don't time that correctly, the ball is caught by the catcher and they are still moving or drifting or even leaning towards the next base. It makes them a good candidate to throw behind and to pick them off. So that's tip number 1. Make sure the timing of your landing is the same as when the catcher catches the ball, and you'll have stopped your momentum, and that alone will make it easier to get back to the bag. The second tip is an explosion step back to the bag right after the catcher catches the ball. So I land with my right foot like I mentioned, and then very quick, I'm going to take a real quick step back to the bag. Okay? If I take that real quick step back to the bag, then often the catcher will see that ahead of time and on the next pitch won't even try to throw down. And that rocket step back is putting you in a position to be able to get back to the bag if there would be a snap throw. Now, it does not mean that the runner has to stop and sprint back to the bag. I don't want that either. But one strong step dissuades the catcher from trying to pick you off, and it puts you in a better position if you do have to dive. However, if you sprint all the way back to the bag after every pitch, and a throw were to, let's say, get past the pitcher, you now have a full 90-foot run to the next base. So I want my runners to be strong, one step, and then they can relax and go from there if the catcher is not throwing the ball back, and that will enable them to watch the throw back to the pitcher. All right, so step number 1 is to land with the right foot at the right time. Step number 2 is an explosion step, and only one step, back to the bag you're coming from to dissuade the catcher from even trying to throw down there. And the third step in the process is stay low when you are coming back to the bag. So when I land with my right foot, I don't want to come back to the bag tall, because if the throw were to come back after the pitch, I now have to waste time trying to get down to try to slide. If I'm already low and my explosion step coming back to the bag after the pitch, I'm closer to the ground already. That's one less thing I have to do, and I much more easily slide into second base. So I come off on the secondary lead. Step number 1, I land with my right foot correctly. Step number 2 is I explode one step back to the bag, and step number 3, I do all this while staying low and not high. So if you do those 3 things, you will never get picked off at a base on a snap throw after the pitch. All right, folks, so practice all this stuff. Again, the off season is great for these little things involving base running. You get a lot of stuff done if you practice these little things, and you make yourself a better player as a result. All right, folks, well, again, thanks for checking in. Until next time, keep working hard and have a good day, everybody.